That's a funny question actually, because a lot of people ask you that, and I don't really have one of those like amazing stories that a lot of people have. But I kind of grew up in Baldock and went to a school where, you kind of followed a certain path. You go to university, you do this, and part of that is to volunteer. So I volunteered at one of the hospitals at maternity, and from there I kind of just fell in love with the whole system really of being there for someone and when they're vulnerable and kind of being there, and they kind of edged me on to start nursing. Yeah, so as a student, you do hear like, oh, you can't go to community straight away. Like you have to have so many months and years of being on the ward and blah blah blah. But I kind of just did my own research and spoke to some of the lecturers at my uni and kind of went from there and kind of sussed it out myself. I had a community placement as a student. I enjoyed it. It was just always back of my mind. And then to fund my studies, I worked for Home Instead, which is a domiciliary care company. And I just fell in love with community, just being able to be there for someone in their own home and keeping them in the home as independent as possible kind of just made me realise kind of there's a gap in healthcare and the amount of people you see in A&E, because I did a placement there as well. It's just crazy if they just had that one person that comes in regularly just to check on them, then yeah. Okay, so at our uni we had a careers fair, I think that's what they call it. So different people from different trusts. So you had in our area Lister, you had Watford, and even within there you had different teams. So like surgical team or stuff like that, and they kind of just like pitched to us like why we should join them. And obviously HCT was there. I kind of listened and I was like, okay. So I set up email kind of loops. So any jobs that came in, I got emailed. So obviously I live in St Albans, so it was ideal for me. So yeah. As you do your training, so many people are like, oh yeah, you should come back and join here, and you kind of a bit like, I don't know, and you have so many options. Like nursing is a massive kind of field to pick from, but it was actually listening to the people come to us, kind of saying like the reasons why you should, and which kind of really helped. Okay, here I absolutely love Hertfordshire. I grew up here, and like the city kind of scares me. It's too busy, and I know St Albans is busy as well, but you can still kind of like tuck yourself away into like the fields and everything, and you can get away when you have your days off, walk the dog or blah blah blah, and it's just nice to get away, and but it's still close enough to the city if you do want that day in there. But yeah, I absolutely love Hertfordshire, and to be able to work in Hertfordshire just means a lot to me, just from being like growing up and everything here. So I think for me the whole process of joining was lovely. Actually, I really enjoyed my interview. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was just such a nice interview. I've always felt welcome, and they've just been so supportive. I've had like phone calls from when I got the job, like people checking up on me, like made sure I was ready. They've just set me up really to feel so comfortable and be able to kind of set my part. Yeah. It was a couple of weeks ago. I had a call from the office to go see this patient who had a fall. So I just had to go check him over, and she had an awful skin tear down her arm, and her daughter was there, very panicked, just like, oh, should we go to A&E? And just wasn't sure what the best thing to do. So I checked her over and just sorted the skin tear out, and it like down her arm, and it literally the skin had folded underneath itself. So what I had to do was kind of like get the skin from underneath and like place it back and like kind of like a patchwork it back. And she was just absolutely fascinated, this little lady, and she was just like, wow, I can't believe you'd just done that. And I just dressed it obviously, and I saw the same patient I think last week, and she was just so proud to show me her arm. She was just like, look what you've managed to do, because she thought she would have to go to A&E, get stitches, get everything, and I was just like, no, we'll be able to sort it at home. And just that moment just made me realise that me being able to go to her saved her the trip of going to A&E and stayed in hospital, and she managed to stay at home, and the dressing was actually clear, so she was watching her healing every day, and she was saying, like, it was just fascinating seeing it day by day healing, and you guys doing such a good job. So for me, that's just like, it's really good to kind of like see the patient's reaction to the service we provide. So yeah.